Good evening, everyone, and I've got two very special guests on here tonight. Chig, good evening, mate, from Gooner Eagle Eye. Good evening.
Hi,
and I've got. How are you, mate?
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
And this guy's always invited me on his podcast. How's your podcast going? How's your channel going, Chig? It's going well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going all right. Trying to see if I can get to 8K as soon as possible. So any subscribers from here I can get, that would be great. But no, it's good. Not too bad at all. I'm just trying to get as many things going as possible. Got a few ideas in the pot, so I'm just waiting to explode them onto the channel now.
What I do love your watch-alongs with Lee Gunner. Brilliant, and they're very good, very entertaining, and very good. Right, I've also got Kenny Ken in the building. How are you, Kenny?
I'm excited, mate. I'm excited. I'm having a great time. You know, I shortened my gym session because of you. You know, like I said, we spent about an hour, about 40 minutes on the phone, and so, like I said, I missed a leg day, so I had to do the pads.
Well, you do. Well, Kenny, you do go on, don't you, mate? I mean, I'm not being funny.
True. I'll go on.
You're like an old woman when you're on the phone, mate.
No, it's true. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Anyway, it's Sheffield United on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, which makes a change. And how do you boys feel? First of you, how do you feel? This is going to be a tough game for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult test. I'm happy that it's at home, so just gives us, even if it's a 2% more chance, so be it. But you know, for me, I know Klopp will get Manager of the Year. For me, Wilder pushes him all the way. He was someone who I honestly thought Sheffield United would be a relegation contender. Not only are they not relegation contenders, actually, they are genuinely have a decent chance at top 4, you know. If they really just sit down and focus. They play as a unit. I think defensively they're excellent. Gosh, I wish we had some of that. I think they're a team that nobody can underestimate. They always turn up. No one fancies playing them. And I think that's a big compliment to Sheffield United. And I think for us to have any type of result there, even a draw, we need to be on our P's and Q's and really work hard. I mean, really work hard. I think it's a game that I'm glad at least has come after just a short break. So we've not had a midweek game. So it allows us to go into that game somewhat fresh in spite of the injuries that we do have. But yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game. I personally think it'll be a really difficult game.
Yeah, Kenny. Cheers, Kenny. I think they'll probably go into a game where they'll pack the midfield. They'll probably have a 3-5-2, in my opinion. Yeah, Basham, Egan, and O'Connell at the back there. Yeah. Baldock with Stevens on wide are the two wing backs, yeah, and McBurney and McGoldrick up front. Do you think that's how they'll go?
Definitely. Sheffield United play a very unique style. They play an overlap. They play overlapping centre backs. And what I mean by overlapping centre backs is that what they tend to do is that when they start from the kickoff, right, they try to get the ball out wide, preferably down the left to the left wing back Ender Stevens. And what happens, right, is that the left centre back O'Connell gets on the overlap. And then, so by getting down the overlap, they create an overload down the left-hand side. And then what will happen is that the furthest forward player in terms of like the wings is O'Connell, and that's where he puts in the crosses. And then how that system works is that whenever the left centre back becomes the left winger, what happens is that one of their holding midfielders goes into defence. It's a very workable system to the extent that when you watch Sheffield United play, when you see like McGoldrick hold the ball up, it's nothing unusual to see like Basham and O'Connell getting further forward and getting in the things. It's a very energetic way to play it, and they're clearly the fittest team in the Premiership. The only teams that have beaten them are teams that have matched them physical fitness. Like Liverpool beat them home and away because they matched them. Man City, they should have got more at the Etihad. So, and one thing I know, so obviously I'll speak to Curtis. He knows in McGoldrick, they're going to be 100% confident of getting the result because of the unit. So one thing before I go, one thing I would say, Chris Wilder, I'd second what Chig said. Not only does he deserve Manager of the Year, he's an innovator because he's the only Sheffield United playing. The only side I've known to play that way, and everyone knows their jobs. Because what will happen is that when they don't have the ball, they become a back five, and then the threes tuck in, and that's what happened after. Another thing as well, in terms of United, I would say that if Arsenal don't match them physically, we're going to have a problem. And one of the things that worries me is the axis of Guendouzi and Xhaka.
Yeah, they sometimes rotate the forwards. They don't always use the same forwards either, do they?
No, not at all. I think what's happening is, at the moment, Ollie McBurney tends to play alongside McGoldrick. McGoldrick's the one who tends to play quite a lot. And the reason why McGoldrick plays quite a lot because he has great hold-up play. And what happens is that he's more than happy to stay in the midfield for players like Fleck to go past him and occupy the centre forward berth alongside McBurney.
Norwood and Fleck are the ones in the middle that make spurt forward, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically total football. If someone like Ancelotti or say someone like Capello did that, we'll be like saying, bloody hell, what a genius. But because it's Chris Wilder of Sheffield,
well, we sometimes go too much on names and foreign names, and he's done a fantastic job, as Chig said there. He would be after Klopp. He would be my manager. He has incredible job what he's done to bring them up, and they're already virtually safe.
Another thing as well. 75% of that team played in the Championship in the League One.
Yeah, no. I mean, when they played us at Bramall Lane, I thought they outplayed us. I don't think we created anything really much, did we, in that game? I thought they totally outplayed us. Yeah. They're a well organised team, and they're going to create problems. And it will take, I think, on Saturday that we need individuals to come out and produce stuff on the 90 minutes because they're going to be very tight. They're not going to be very easy to break down. So it's going to need individuals to really be out on their game. Players like Mesut Ozil will need to be on his game, and I think, I hope if Lacazette's playing, I hope his confidence is up. Talking about Lacazette, a lot of rumours going around that could be on his way to Atletico Madrid. I don't know what you boys think about this. He did nearly go there on deadline day before he signed for us, didn't he? But because of they couldn't sign any players, could they? And he ended up at Arsenal, didn't he? Because I think his preferred destination then was Atletico. Yeah. Do you think he'll stay? Do you think Chig? Do you think he'll stay, or do you think he'll go? He's going to be important on Saturday, but he's at the moment. He's not in form at the moment. And do you think that's playing on his mind? Yeah,
I think to be honest, I think that is an interesting question because I've gone on record many times on Lee's channel and on my channel. I'd sell them both. To be honest, I would. I've said that before. I feel like the money that we can generate off both of those sales, we could use to improve the team balance. I've always said that. Never been afraid of saying that. With Lacazette, I feel for him at the moment because his form at the moment in terms of goal scoring, which let's be real here, that's what strikers meant to do first, is not great. And this season he's not been on point at all, and I don't know what that's about. There's some stories that have since come out that might have indicated what that might be about. But sticking with the football, for him, I think he just needs to continue working hard. And then if at the end of the season he wants to go to Atletico Madrid, we're in a bit more of a stronger position there because I think Lacazette has 2 years left at the end of the season, and Uber has 1. But if it was me personally and Atletico was serious, if we can maybe get someone like Partey in exchange, maybe a bit of money, I'd sell him. I honestly would. Because I just feel like, don't get me wrong, I think both are good players. Aubameyang is a great goal scorer. But you can't be telling me that we can't find 2 players better, or players that are better, or goal scorers that are better, or strikers that are better. I will never be convinced by this. I'm not one to be hypnotized by name only. I prefer balance. Quite frankly, I don't care if you're someone who's not the superstar name. Just be a superstar team player. That's what I want. A balance, someone who works hard for the team, and then at the end of it, everything else takes care of itself. Just really, really quickly, because I know Alex Gomez donated £5.
Sorry. I didn't see that. The message come up. Alexander Gomez, thanks for that. What was his question, mate? Because I missed it because I'm concentrating here. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. What
was his question? Did anyone see it? I can't get these questions.
That's all right. He just said, Claude, Chig, Kenny, winning combination, guys. I miss London. Time to relocate now. So big up to you, Alex. Good guy, Alex.
And thank you for that donation. I don't deserve it for missing that. Actually, I don't deserve the donation for missing that completely. I took my eye, and because what you say, I'm taking my eye off the ball. I do apologise.
That's all right. That's why there's 3 of us. So us can watch it. Also, one more donation that came on from Zane, from one specifically for King Kenny, which is $1.99 donation from Zane, saying King Kenny, and this is for you, basically. So there you go. Sorry, I just thought I'd catch up with those 2.
Right, on Saturday, there's a 50-50 decision on Torreira, Lucas Torreira, which would be a big blow if he's out. Now, I'm going to be. You might think I'm going to be a bit strange here, but I'm going to go. If he is out, bringing Holding back. If he's fit, Holding is fit now, isn't he? Yeah, and putting Luiz into midfield. Would you boys be against that if Torreira was out?
I think David Luiz has played too well at the moment under Mikel Arteta for him to be moved out that centre half berth. Yeah. And I think in terms of Rob Holding tends to play his best football if he plays left centre back or in a back 3.
Yeah, agreed.
So for me, I don't think with Rob Holding there's any need to play Rob Holding unless the Bournemouth game. Sheffield United is way too important. I just see Rob Holding get absolutely bullied by McBurney and McGoldrick.
The trouble is, I think if Torreira's slightly injured, I think he might keep him for Chelsea. Can Ceballos and Xhaka work? I mean, Ceballos is fit now. Would that work better then?
I think the thing about it is that it's a very positive way to play but the thing about it is that you've got Xhaka, you've got Ceballos, and you've got Mesut Ozil on the side, which is fine from an attacking point of view. It's very good for the purists. But where's the protection for Xhaka? Xhaka's going to get into that position where he's going to play the holding midfielder, which he's no good at. Players are going to run past him, and then the good form that he's built up since he's come back in the side, it's just going to go. It's going to go unnoticed. You can't play Xhaka in a position where he's got the protection. Then I personally would play him alongside a more mobile midfielder. Now, a problem we've got, who's going to take that job? Now, we've got like Willock. He's been disappointing.
Yes.
When we've asked him to play in that sort of central midfielder role. Not so much DM role. So then we've got a problem there. In terms of Guendouzi, I think there's a... Chris, you know this word anyway. It's a Nigerian word. He's very graggler.
Yes.
You heard that word?
Yes.
He's very graggler.
Yes.
And what we say in our community about graggler is that he's very ragged, untidy the way he plays. In terms of... you got a question from Chag?
Yeah, first of all, I missed the Zane question. What I just said it just gone past, but I know what he said. He said, "Kenny, would you start your own channel?"
Yeah, about 3 or 4.
No.
By the way.
Hey, can I just read that Chadwick? I'll read that Chadwick Muffet for you. Can you guys explain why we have so many damn draws? I think that means that the team doesn't have anyone that can take the game by the balls and get a winning goal. That's from Chadwick Muffet.
Yeah, what do you think, boys, on that? I mean, we have had a lot of draws this year, haven't we? I mean, I don't know.
You know what it is called? You know what it is called? We lack a cutting edge. People talk about our great front three, like it's the best of the Premiership. But really and truly, right, if you look even under Mikel, we're not killing teams off. You know what I mean? It's like, how many chances do we actually create in a football match? How many chances do we actually create against Crystal Palace? How much do we actually create against Leeds? How many chances do we actually create against Man United, apart from the 2 goals? One of them was from a set piece, the second one. In terms of Chelsea, what did we actually create? We played well, but we're not creating chances. We brought Mesut Ozil back into the football side because we're saying we lack creativity. But he hasn't proved to be the catalyst to us getting more goals.
Yeah. Let's be honest. He doesn't create anymore. Let's just be honest.
And I think that's where Chadwick's point is. Another thing as well, Mesut Ozil's working his nuts off for the football side, to the extent that he's doing things because he wants to stay in the side. However, I think he's got the same problem with Lacazette, because I know you said about Lacazette being out of form. What I said yesterday when I was on a podcast is that Ruud Gullit 25 years ago talked about he liked his strikers to be fresh in the box.
Okay.
Now, if Lacazette's working his nuts off outside the box,
if
you look at the chances he gets, he's not fresh. Bournemouth away, he weren't fresh when he had that chance.
Yeah.
What's his name? He wasn't fresh. So again, what we're saying, you got another one from Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo Jack. This is from Australia, I think. Has there been any good Australian players for Arsenal? The only ones I can think of is Cosmina, isn't it? Who's the other one there?
Cosma. Yeah. And the second question, and do you guys think Tyson Fury is the biggest sportsman in the UK? Sorry, Kangaroo Jack. We're going to go around. I think Tyson Fury is the most entertaining sportsman, but I still think that Anthony Joshua and Lewis Hamilton are a bigger sportsman.
I was going to say, Lewis is probably agreed.
What do you guys think?
That's the only. Before I go on to Alexander's question, that's the only Australian I can think of.
Oh yeah, Alexandra Gomez, £5 says, "Gragra." Haven't heard that expression in ages. Well done, Kenny. Fantastic words. But that's Guendouzi. He is a Gragra. He is Gragra when he plays. He wants to be like he wants to be the best defender. He wants to be the best midfielder, and he wants to do everything. And I think he's got an enthusiasm, so much enthusiasm, but it's not. It probably doesn't fit in with a structure. You know what I mean?
This is a. Let me put this up here. Pavel, mate, it's like this signing of Whisper. I can't even pronounce his name.
His name is Pavel.
Right. He says, "I have a bad feeling we're not going to sign anyone. And what is worse in the summer when we sign another Sylvester Sigalachi and David Luiz? Like, I'm starting to think that this now we're starting to buy players, Kenny, that are surplus to requirements at other clubs that are not getting games.
Why?
Some of them
Why?
We're still buying these players that are not even fit or get injured. It happens every year.
Why? What's the common denominator, Claude? What's the common denominator? It's easy for people to talk about about Kroenkes and blah blah. Let's do a protest and blah blah. Let's remember what we are. We are a solid Europa League side, and we're probably not going to be that this season.
Probably won't be that next season.
Yeah, and I think what people got to realise is that big players want to play in the Champions League. They want to go to the biggest clubs, and when they say they want to know about history and tradition, it's a load of nonsense. What they want to do is to go to the winning club.
Yeah,
that's why certain players don't go to Man United. They all go Man United, Man City, because Man City win.
Yeah, this is from Mikey, 2K19. Arsenal Business Club becoming a retirement home. And I'm starting to believe that as well, mate.
Yeah, but Claude, you can't unless you have Champions League football. You can't expect all these top up and coming players to come to Arsenal. We are not an employer choice. Even when we were playing Champions League, we weren't employer choice because the simple reason is that we weren't paying the money that Chelsea and Man City were playing, and we didn't have a divine structure in terms of us going on a challenge for the big trophies. Yeah, we were making up the numbers in Champions League, but we weren't going to win the league because we had the wrong manager, the wrong style of play.
Take this player now. This left back? What's his name again? Can you pronounce it again?
Kazawa.
Kazawa. Take this player now. I saw today. At one time, he was just behind Roberto Carlos in the ratings. Yeah. How long has Roberto Carlos been retired? Now, what? No, this is serious now. I mean, what? I saw was on there. I saw was this saying because anything Arteta does, it doesn't. It's good now. Whatever Arteta does, it doesn't matter. If we sign Billy Bunter, he'll be saying it's a bloody great signing because
I think you got to give Woz credit. But you got to give Woz some credit. The reason why I do respect Woz is because me and him, the thing with me and Woz, right, is that I'm the centre forward and midfielder and goalkeeper. Yet Woz is the left back who wants great attacking, expansive football, and I'm the attacking player who wants, like I said, progressive but safety first. Pragmatic. Like work rate football. So we're like opposites attract. Yet he's the left back, the defender, and I play. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Oh yeah, Chadwick Muffet's got another donation. You want to read that out, Claude?
Claude, someone told me your favourite player is Igor Stepanov. Mate, listen, I used to call him Igor Step Aside because that's all he done. Yeah. So, all right. Sure, we did have some players, didn't we? God, Jesus, Galacci, Stepanov. Oh my God!
Hey, don't knock it.
And we're still rolling them in. Chelsea. Still rolling them in.
He had a great game against Chelsea when we played him in the 5th round of the FA Cup. When we won 3-1.
And then what happened the next week?
Played well.
And then what happened the next week at Old Trafford? 6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everyone was terrible that game.
Everyone was that. You know what's happened? I think Man United must have been tested for drugs. It just came out the trap so quickly. Dwight York, who hardly ever played that season, got an hat-trick.
Yeah, but we always made him look good. We always made him look good. So,
yeah, because I remember that because the next season we went on to win the league, innit? I mean, it just shows you, doesn't it? I mean,
and you know, actually, with that game, that was the only time Arsene Wenger lost his temper with the players.
I heard. Yeah,
he absolutely lost it, and the reason why he lost it is because he didn't lose to Man United. He lost to Fergie.
Yeah.
Didn't we have in that game? Wasn't Silvino and Ashley Cole playing in the same game? One was playing further forward, if I remember.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember Oleg Lushny playing.
Oh yeah.
We basically lost our first choice back four. Ray Parlour was playing. Henry's and Perez were playing. Because we actually equalised. When they went 1-0 up. We actually equalised. And I was jumping around the sitting room because I didn't go that dumb. And then before I know it, I just saw an avalanche. It was fine.
Actually, Kenny, half the weigh-in went at half time, mate.
Well, yeah, you know, I was watching it on Sky Sports, and I remember that day, Sky Sports was saying, a message went to the message went to the commentary box where a Man United steward said, send this to the commentary box. And what it was is that Arsenal fans were asking, when we went 4-1 down after 30 minutes, Arsenal fans were asking the stewards to open the doors so they could leave, the exit doors. Because you're not allowed to open the exit doors at a football match until within 60 or 70 minutes. Yeah. Because the reason why you can't do it for safety measures because of Hillsborough. Yeah. Because remember they opened this exit, but Arsenal fans were basically begging for the exit doors to be open.
Andrew Ritchie, as I'm your hero, I will give you a shout out. Well done, Andrew. I haven't got many people call me a hero, so That's brilliant. Thank you very much. God, people calling me a hero now. Bloody hell.
So that's the history of Igor
Jesus Christ. What's going on in this world? Right. Nick Achilleos, I think this is a Tottenham fan. He's what? Evening, Kenny. Asking how you are. He's a Tottenham fan, isn't he? Is he the Tottenham fan? He's not, is he? I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry, mate. Is that...
No. Yeah, I do have a mate called Nick, and his name Nick, and the one I introduced to you on Saturday, his actual name is Nick as well. But nice to meet you, Nick. How are you, mate? I'm good, man. Still suffering as an Arsenal fan.
Kenny Ken misses watching Ian Sally.
Oh,
is that right, Kenny?
Ian Sally, let's not knock Ian Sally. You know, in our cup finals in the 1990s, especially in the FA Cup and like Copenhagen, players like Ian Sally were a godsend. It's one of those games where you have one match, right? One match, a one-off match, right? They just do a job. George Graham will go up to them and say, right, you go there, and they'll stay there for the whole 90 minutes. And let's not knock players like Ian Selly and David Hillier. These steady Eddies have got winners' medals. So I can't knock them. And when you win at Arsenal, of course you're a legend.
Answer that, Chig, quick.
I hate Lee. That's my answer to that question. I hate Lee. That's the answer to that question.
Well, he's Address Khan.
No, he's the reason why he's asking that question. I hate Lee. I hate him.
I think Lee's asked you a question, Dan.
Please, why are people? Oh, this is a good question. Oh, where's it gone? Hold on. Yeah. Well, what do you boys think of John Stones? And would he have been a good addition for us?
For me, he's better than a lot of what we have. But I hate this idea of only getting players that are better than what we have. Surely we should aim for players who are good, who don't make mistakes, who are not a calamity. It seems like we're conditioned at the moment as Arsenal fans as, oh, he's better than what we have, so we might as well sling him in. I'd rather someone who's good, who's capable, who's ready to take... Like, listen, I know he's playing well at the moment, so this won't be a really timely comment. All I kept hearing when we bought David Luiz is, oh, well, he's better than Mustafi, so I'll have him in there. And I was like, all the while I was sat there thinking, this guy ain't good enough. What is everyone talking about? I used to see big YouTubers talking and signing up, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you'll see. He's useless. You're going to see it. And all right, he had a good couple of games. But up until now, he's been useless. Let's be real. So I think for me, with John Stones, I'm glad that we've kind of distanced ourselves away from that signing now. I want us to get better than that. For me, we should be aiming for better than that. If we have any chance of getting to where we want to be, we need to have better than that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Jack Beckett.
Thank you for that, Jack. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for Jack. I'm not a legend, but thank you very much. No, that's very nice of you.
I want to sort of talk about John Stones as well. It's such a sad state of affairs where we look at John Stones and he's an archetype Man City player. He's excellent on the ball, and I mean excellent on the ball. You know, it's just that he's defending. Time lets him down, and we saw some of that in the Euros. We saw that in the Europa. Chig, do you still have your Eddie McGoldrick kit? Of course you did, mate. Yeah, Chad Muffet. But talk about John Stones as well. Have you noticed with John Stones, right? One of the things is that I think he's a sort of a confused kind of player. Gareth Southgate is telling him just go on the ball, make sure you don't lose possession. Guardiola's telling the same sort of thing. So they're encouraging him to bring the ball out and play. But the trouble is that it's at the expense of his defending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Melina, you could have put a message, but thank you very much for the contribution. But it would have been nice to have a message. But thank you very much anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what. In terms of him playing for Arsenal, I don't like our rivals cast-offs coming to Arsenal because the simple reason is that it doesn't work out.
No,
they're going to get a culture shock because the extent that they're playing for Arsenal, and in terms of like their development and the winning mentality and the culture, it's a lot lower than what they've been used to. You know what I mean?
I see this 100. Oh, sorry. Can I just say this? 170 in the chat, which is not bad for me. Thank you very much. Can you put also, please? It would help if you could put the likes, press the likes on the. Press the like button. It doesn't cost much. Just press it and that'd be brilliant. Thank you very much.
Michael's got a question for you, Claude.
Yeah, and Michael has got a question. This is a good question, actually. Great show, guys. Do you think we should maybe start Eddie and on Saturday?
I'll
leave that to Chris.
Yeah.
I'm you, Kenny. I'm not going to reveal whether I will start him because I'll do that in my preview tomorrow. But for me, whether I think he might start, I suspect he might. I think Arteta clearly saw something about the kid that he likes. He's fresh. Let's be honest, not be getting a lot of game time. But I must admit, I hold my hands up. I'm one of the people who I'm not that convinced by him. I'll be honest. I think he's a decent little goal scorer at a certain level. That's just my honest opinion about it. Whether he'll go on to be something at Arsenal, listen, I always hope our youngsters do well. I'm not convinced. But I've just got this sneaky feeling that if Lacazette is carrying this injury that people keep talking about, he might fancy a go at it. He might fancy Eddie starting. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I'll go on to the cricket in a minute because someone like VP asked me about the cricket.
No, that's Kangaroo Jack. Kangaroo Jack's got one for you.
Yeah, I'll go on to the cricket in a minute because VP had also one. I'll go on to that in a minute. Do you guys know much about Australian football A-League? And do you rate it? And what level can teams like Melbourne Victory be in England? I haven't watched it. I don't know nothing about Australian football.
I do watch a bit of it.
The only thing I know about Australia is home and away and neighbours. So
no, I do watch the Australian A-League. And one thing I do know about the Australian A-League is that a lot of the old Australian players who played in the Premiership, I've put a lot of money in the league, and they're also like coaching the league because I know, Robbie, Muscat is coaching in Australia. I know Harry Kill played over there for a while, went back home to put something back in the league. But in terms of the Australian league, you can't really knock it because a lot of the, like I said, good Premiership players have come from Australia. Some memorable players. I've gotten to win a lot of pros. Harry Kill. Let's not forget. Remember, we got Harry Kill. We got Viduka as well. That's come over. Robbie Slater won a championship medal with Blackburn Rovers, and he's a big pundit in Australia. So, in terms of the levels, I'm not sure about the levels. I ain't gonna lie about the levels. I think what it is is that I think the Melbourne Victory probably could maybe could do one in the Championship. In terms of Premiership level, I'm not sure that they have the right players to play in that.
What about you, Chig? What about you, Chig?
What levels can Melbourne Victory play in England? League One.
Oh, right, League One.
League One. Like Eddie Kane says, I feel like they put a lot of money into the league, but we've not really seen, other than Tim Cahill, any big superstars come from that area. Listen, I got a lot of time for Aussie, so for me, I hope their league continues to improve. But I think maybe League One might be a good level for them. I think what they do, they need
Australians do produce a lot of players in Europe that go unnoticed, and they tend to play for. They do get Premiership experience, but they do tend to play for teams in the Championship and maybe the Premiership. Remember, the captain of Australia used to play at Crystal Palace. What's his name again? He's got a Balkan surname. What's his name? He used to be at Aston Villa, but they released him. He used to be Crystal Palace's captain again. What's his name again? The Kangaroo Jack. Can you help me out with the Kangaroo Jack? Help me out with the. He's former Crystal Palace captain, the former Aston Villa captain in Australia.
Yeah.
And he was the last one to play at the highest level after Kim
Well,
Cahill.
defender, wasn't he?
He was the defender. He had a beard. Jedinak. That's right.
Yes,
he's the last player to come from Australia.
Kenny, can I have an update on the cricket? Because I haven't seen no cricket today. What's happening?
Well, at the moment, right, VP, what I'm going to say, right, quickly, Jofra Archer was left out. Mark Woods has taken his place because he's still got the elbow injury. England are 223 for 4 at stumps.
Oh, not bad.
Oh, that's not bad. That's encouraging, isn't it? So, but is that all they got in the whole day? Was there a lot of delays?
No, not at all. I think what's happened is that I think what England need to do, they bat sensibly because I think England haven't got 400 or more runs since 2017 in the first innings.
Oh, well, that's fine. I think whoever bats first is always going to have the advantage. I think.
Yeah, but the trouble with England is that they're making test matches too close because what they're doing is they're not putting teams away to the sword. Like they're not getting the big scores that win you to sets a platform to winning games, i.e., getting 450 plus or 500. It's Pavel.
This is a good one. Pavel's come with a good one here. What do you think of about Madison rumours? To me, it looks like another Lamar. Yeah, as far as Lamar's concerned, I'd rather have the singer. Anyway, what do I think? I'll take Madison tomorrow, mate. I love Madison. I don't know about you, Chig, and Kenny, but I'm a big fan of
I prefer Grealish. I prefer Grealish. I think Grealish is exactly what he needs.
Kenny, no.
You know why I think we prefer Grealish? Because I want someone who can do what Madison does, but I want someone who can run at players and run with the ball and commit defences. And I think Jack Grealish is the player that England are missing. They haven't had a player like him since Paul Gascoigne. I know that's big praise, but in terms of that player, we could do with that. You know, who's got that sort of can open doors, but has actually got a goal threat, but can actually dribble and go past the man.
I must admit, I like Grealish too, but I would have Madison. If it was possible to get James Madison, I don't know why he would leave Leicester to come to us, but if it was possible, I would love him. I would love him. Especially as a Mesut Ozil replacement, I'd love him.
Lee Gunner's a big Grealish fan, isn't he? I think he's a big Grealish fan.
No. Lee Gunner doesn't rate Grealish at all, but he does like Madison.
Yeah, I'm a big Madison. Yeah, I do love. I just.
George, you got another message, mate?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is Melina's come back. Thank you, Melina. Nice donation again. Love watching you on AFTV and your channel. Cool. Thank you very much. Your videos are great. Oh, thank you. Much love from Canada. Love the friendship you have with Ty. Oh, I don't know about friendship. It's more of an acquaintance, you know. Best wishes for 2020. Yeah. Thank you very, very much. It's very nice of you. All the way from Canada. I've got people in Canada that love me. What's going on here?
Yeah, but the Canadians are nice. They're nice people.
They are lovely people. I always love the Canadians. The Canadians are really nice people. Let's have a look here now. 1 minute. Who's this here? Grealish literally has better stats in a worse team. You man tapped, says Lumberger Camp.
I like Grealish a lot. I just think, for me, I think the ceiling is higher with Madison.
I think sometimes when you're in a worse team, actually, you shine more anyway. You look more
exactly
better than what you are.
Yeah, but
you can't really say.
Can you see Jack Grealish as an English shirt in terms of like what one of the things we lack when you watch the national side is that they're not very good at retaining possession. They have these exciting players who are good forwards and look great and they've got great potential. But one of the things that's going to hurt England in the Euros, especially playing in that time of the year, is the ability to retain possession. And I think Jack Grealish and your Madisons are that type of players. And I think if England don't, like I said, retain possession, I think they're going to struggle in their home tournament, virtual home tournament.
Abdi's come on, Abdi, not Abdul, it's Abdi. This is says thoughts on Mertens from Napoli. Abdul is still doing his wedding, I think. Abdi, thoughts on Mertens from Napoli.
Go on, Chris. Go on, Chig. You're one.
This is another example of why are we going for a 32-year-old cast-off. So another example of it. I think at his best, he was okay. I was never dazzled by Mark Mertens. He's a hard worker. I'll give him that. But he's 32 years old. It's like, have we become Bolton from 2006 all of a sudden? We're just looking for these over-the-hill, bargain basement, nobody wants them type players. It's just like, no. Let's not go and get Mertens. Go and get somebody who is capable of being part of the team for years to come. What a 32-year-old who's on his way down, who was never that great to begin with.
Chad, yeah, I agree. I'm agree with it. It's another one, isn't it? Another cast-off. We don't want cast-offs, yeah? Right. Who's everyone's favourite American sports athlete in any sport? Also, can you imagine if LeBron James played football, soccer?
My favourite American sports athlete has to be like Serena Williams. To play in that level for that, where you come up to approach, you're nearer to 40 than 30. Than 30, you still get the finals. I think that I think people, American sport and world sport, are only going to appreciate her when she retires, and that's when she's going to get all the accolades and all the that she should have been getting. Because I think what's happening is that people think, oh yeah, she's making tennis very boring, and these young up-and-coming players are not good enough. There's some really great tennis players in the women's game now, and you can tell by when she gets to the finals, she gets outplayed by these younger men because when she makes her little errors, she can't. When these players play her in the final, once they get the foot on the throat, that's it. They don't let go, because normally you watch a lot of her matches in the final. She makes a few errors, and these guys choke and let her back in the game. But these young girls are not letting her back in these game. But still play at level, especially when she's highly paid tournaments. You've got to rate her. In terms of LeBron James, I'll leave that to Chig again. I don't really know much about the lads.
What was the question about LeBron James?
Do you have LeBron James?
Football or soccer?
Yeah.
How would he have looked at football and soccer? I don't know.
How would he have looked at football and soccer?
How would he have looked as a footballer or a soccer player? And they liked.
I don't know. He doesn't look particularly coordinated at the feet. He's just a tall geezer. Exactly. You know what I mean? There's not really much you could go with that.
Yeah. Here's a good one from Brody Smith. Now let's have a look at this. How would you? But I think this is too early to
answer the question.
How would you rate Arteta's start at Arsenal from 1 to 10 in terms of performances?
I'm bottling this one. Claude, it's all yours, mate.
I knew you would.
Come on, Kenny. No good.
All right. All right. Do you want to be honest? I think what's happened right now is that I'm actually astonished and flabbergasted by what I'm reading on Twitter. The amount of people are saying that Arteta is giving us an identity and that I've got my Arsenal back. Well,
didn't they say that about Emery?
Yep.
Yes, but but the thing is that Arteta, we were 10th when Arteta took over, 10th or 11th, and we're still there after 4 games. Yes, so nothing's really changed. We've only won 1 league game, we've drawn 2 and lost unluckily to Chelsea. So when people talk about it, one thing I will say about Arteta is that he's just doing the basics, which we should be doing as footballers. He's making yourself compact when you don't have the football, dominating the spaces in the midfield. Like I said, being physically fit in terms of like pressing from the front, attacking in numbers. All we lack under attack at the moment is a cutting edge. But another thing as well, his man management is fantastic. I mean, Jesus Christ, I've never seen so many hugs in my life. I think it must be some sponsored hugs or something. I mean, even the naughty boys are getting sweets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people going 4s and 6s here.
So I think, so for me, I agree with them. I'll just give them a 6 because I'm not seeing anything spectacular.
Yeah.
Really
how about you,
the basics.
How about you,
for me, I'd give him a 6 as well. To me, I think he's done okay, done better than I thought. So from that perspective, from a very small bar. He's doing better than I thought. I still don't like the idea that we've turned our club into an experiment for someone else's career. That's just my opinion. Having said that, because I know people are going to be like, oh, look at he's not being negative. Is the team performing better to a certain extent? You would be in denial to say otherwise. I still am not comfortable with this situation. I still, like Kenny Ken says, I think people need to get a grip. Like, we're 10th. We started 10th. We're still 10th. Relax. We're even more out of touch with top 4 than we were when we started. So relax. But if we're looking at performances, yeah, he seems to be getting good performances out of certain people. Listen, it's commendable. Ainsley Maitland-Niles quietly is doing this thing. Quietly going about his business. His performances are getting better and better. To me, Mesut Ozil, it's debatable. We all know someone who isn't convinced Mesut Ozil's performances are getting better. But the one I would say is that his effort has increased. You can't deny that.
It's such a shame that we didn't see that under Unai Emery,
though, isn't it?
Why wasn't he doing that under Unai Emery? Why wasn't he getting that under Unai Emery? And that's the thing about the reason why people do get frustrated with Mesut Ozil is that there was such a clamour for the guy to get back into the football team, and saying that we miss his creativity. But essentially, we haven't seen any of that creativity since he's got back in the side. And, there was a cameo appearance in Liverpool where he's involved in all the good things we did, but since then, you got a player that with virtually no defensive responsibilities, yet he doesn't score goals. Now that has to be something that needs to be debated. Why isn't that not an issue? An attacking midfielder is more happy to create assists, yet the great number 10s, will say if they play 500 games, they'll score about between 150 and 200 goals. But this guy doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a shame?
Kenny, can I ask you boys a question? Do I actually look like Uncle Fester?
No. It's a football show, not a commodity show. Ignore the 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Ignore the 16-year-olds.
They're looking for us to notice their comment. This is the best way of them doing that. Don't worry.
No, I don't mind. I mean, who is Uncle Fester, by the way?
This is a serious football show.
I know, but that comment I saw up there. I mean, they're talking about the Blood Brothers final, and he said that Uncle Fester got sent off. And I'm just saying, I'm starting to worry now about how I look.
Claude,
can you stop spoiling it for us? We haven't seen the footage.
I hadn't even seen it yet. But no, yeah, for me, I think you're right, Kenny Ken. I think it's easier to overlook, say, someone like Aubameyang's flaws when he doesn't always work hard, because at some point, more than likely, he's going to score. Whereas with Mesut Ozil, yeah, all right, great, he's running more, but there's still, to me, he still don't create enough. He doesn't create enough. He doesn't open up gaps for other people to create. He recycles the ball is the new phrase I'm hearing now. That he recycles the ball. Shouldn't 10 other people on the pitch also do the same thing then?
Yeah.
Recycle the ball. Like, what is that? I hate that phrase. He recycles the ball now. So yeah, I think for me, I still would sell him if it was possible.
Yeah, another question you asked about Mesut Ozil: is he going to get better at the age? He's currently 32 years old, right? He's going to be 32 at the end of the calendar year. Is he going to get better than what he was when he was 23 when he first came to the football club? Are we going to see better than what we've seen under Unai Emery and the last few years under Arsene Wenger? Are we going to see that? Because we've got a lot of people. We've got a unique talent here who's got a unique way of playing football. But what are we getting out of this player? Oh, you've got a great question there.
What are your thoughts on Kelechi's friend? I don't know if it's his friend, but the Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote on buying Arsenal in 2021. Is he an Arsenal fan too? I think he is an Arsenal fan because Kelechi told me he is. But I spoke to Kelechi the other day. He said he very much doubt whether that will ever happen. I don't know what you boys think.
From my perspective, it really depends on if you can see the Americans selling next year, and I don't know if that will be the case. I feel as though, yeah, it's all well and good saying I want to buy Arsenal. Cool. The other person needs to be willing to sell it to you. So I think it's a good way of causing a stir, making headlines, and maybe even going on to manage to own another club, which might be what he's doing. But I think, to me, I have my doubts as well if it will actually ever happen.
Well, the thing is, Chig, and the thing is, Claude, in the last 10 years, right, when you look at Premiership clubs and even Championship clubs only get sold if they go into financial trouble, or if they're near to sort of administration or receivership. Arsenal is not in financial trouble. They're not in administration. They're not in receivership. So why would they sell? Why would they sell? There's no need for the Kroenke to sell the football club.
But we had a big loss last year. We had a big loss.
But all right, you have a big loss. But the fact of the matter is that Man City sold to the Mansours, so the Latera sold because he ran out of money. He needed to sell to improve his finances. Leicester City have changed owners because they've got themselves near administration. Tottenham sold to Alan Sugar in 1991 because remember they had this partnership with Humill, got themselves in serious financial trouble to the extent there wasn't being a Tottenham Hotspur. That's where you sell the club. Aston Villa is sold because Lerner got them into financial trouble. Unless Arsenal are in a situation where they're in the process of being in administration or receivership, there's no way an owner will sell a football club that's still making them £100 million a year.
Hold on, Kenny.
TV.
Hold on. You know the Tottenham owner, isn't that billionaire owner? What's his name?
Enoch. Yeah, but what's that in 91?
The other guy that's abroad.
Yeah, but he's his name. Yeah, Joe Lewis is Enoch.
Joe Lewis. Hasn't he owned the club? Hasn't he always owned the club?
He's always no, he hasn't. He bought the shop. He bought it of Alan Sugar in 2001.
Right,
Alan
that's
Sugar,
right. Yeah.
Remember Alan Sugar's consortium in 91 with Terry Venables, and after two years, Alan Sugar gave Terry Venables to Frank Boff because Terry Venables was presumed to be Terry Venables, and the translation is Terry Venables, the BSer.
Yeah, there's a question there. Ismail Ali Nitas. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. What do you think of the Turkish defender? Sunuka, is it? Is the one that plays for Leicester, isn't it?
Yeah, Dimitri Suretsu.
Yeah, he's the guy that plays. I think he's a top defender. We were interested at one time with him, weren't we?
And we bought him. He's at Freiburg, wasn't he? In German football.
And
we were excellent player.
Instead, we went for Socrates, didn't we? Instead, I think, and that's what, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I've watched him loads of times. He's very talented. He's a very good defender for me. But
Claude, can I ask you a question? And that's just one thing about Arsenal fans, right? And it's not a criticism. It's just discussions I've had with all Arsenal fans. And surely your defence is only as good as the midfield you get in front of you in terms of the protection you get. Isn't Maitland Niles looking better because he's getting protection from Pepe?
Yeah.
Surely Sientsu is looking $1 million because him and Evans, because obviously Evans has got experience, and Evans is telling where to put him in the areas where to go. But surely they'll struggle if they didn't have Ndidi in front of them, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah. Well, by the way, Ismail, thank you for the donation as well. Yeah, and I do understand. Maitland Niles, I think in the last few weeks has been outstanding, hasn't he? I mean. I do agree with you, but we'll see. But that is a good question. Thank you, Ismail, for that. Let's see if there's anything else here. 1 minute, let me go.
Defensive midfielder is key, though. Kenny, I completely agree with you.
Midfield is the biggest.
You do know Torreira isn't happy in England. That's not a dig against any manager. It's just that the South American players, especially the ones from Argentina and Uruguay, they tend to be more comfortable playing in Italy and Spain, and that's why I'm astonished that Aguero is like I said, has lasted so long and happy at Man City. I'm astonished because because it's South American players traditionally do not settle well in this country. Yeah, because of weather, food.
Brodie Smith, would you be in favour of a swap deal between Lacazette and Lamar? You know my thoughts on Lamar. I'd rather have the singer. So,
yeah, but Chig made an interesting point at the beginning of the show about Lacazette and his utility and what thing. Like, I agree with Chig. I know this is harsh. I know Lacazette and Aubameyang have got a lot of fans, but I look at the bigger picture. Their sale can generate a lot of money where we can fix some really areas within the football club. Yeah, even if we don't get these players from Europe, there are some gems in the Premiership that are right to go to that next level, to a next level club, and they're playing out their skins. Why are we not looking in the gems in English football? Why? Why Liverpool? If you look at Liverpool's best players, Mane came from Southampton. Van Dijk came from Southampton.
Ronaldo came from Newcastle.
Newcastle, where they got relegated. I mean, Salah was at Chelsea. He came from Fiorentina. They haven't come from big clubs. James Milner, was at Man City. He was at Newcastle. Why are we not looking at these gems? What is it with us since Arsene Wenger's come to the club that we basically do not look at English players? Why is it that only players like Rob Holding are the only players we've got from the thing? Why are you trying to say he's the only gem in English football?
By the way, would you sell Bellerin for Max Arans? Is the question there? Another one coming in, and I'll have another. Max Arans.
I would. I was never a huge fan of Bellerin in the first place. I feel for him in some ways, in the sense that now he's had this knee injury, his pace has gone, and it's very rare that once a player's had a bad knee injury, that he comes back the same player. Very, very rare.
Yeah. He's the guy from Norwich, isn't he? He's the
guy from Norwich. 20 years old. Yeah. Very good.
Spurs are after him as well. Hey, Nick Kilios has got a question for me and you, Claude.
Oh, yeah. How old was you when you became an Arsenal fan? Well, I became an Arsenal fan when I was, but I didn't start going until I was 9. But I've always been, since I was about 5 or 6, I can remember being. Actually, I'll go even when I was 9 or 10. I didn't always go every game, but I remember, because in them days, remember Kenny, in them days, you never had any radio commentary in the midweek games, did you? Or
I don't know. I think it's a bit before my time.
In the league games, you didn't have no radio commentary. And in fact, I remember when we won the double in 70-71, you'd have to wait till Panorama was on before you got the result. But I'm
a bit younger than you, Claude. I'm 10 years younger than you.
I remember because in them days, what I used to do, the phone was in the hallway, and I used to go out the door and used to phone the number up, and this is Arsenal Football Club. The score at the moment is Arsenal 1, Coventry 0. And
seriously?
This is how you had to get the score, because you never had there was no big. The only time there was radio commentary was on the Saturday afternoon with Sport on 5 at the time. Yeah, it was Sport on 5, and if not Sport on 5, it was Radio 2, Sport on something. I can't remember what it was, but anyway. And what it was is, what was it? There was one commentary match, and they didn't tell you until half time. It was the second half of it, and they used to have a reporter at 6 games, and then you got the scores.
Chig, you're so spoilt, mate.
Yeah,
this is spoiled.
That's what I'm saying. This is how it was in them days. You didn't have that advanced. It's gone so advanced now.
Hey, when I was a kid, right, the only live match was the FA Cup final.
Yeah, that's it, and that's another thing. And on Match of the Day, you had 2 matches, and they just ran it up. They didn't even show highlights of the other games. And on
the big match,
and the big match, you had 3 games, one from each region. Yeah. Hold on,
we're London, so he asked me when I support Arsenal. Well, the first time apparently I only started supporting Arsenal because of my mum, because my mum's such a big Arsenal fan and such a big football fan, and even I was born and bred in Islington, but Liverpool winning everything. But my mum insisted that that we supported Arsenal, and she swears blind that she used to take me when I was a baby. to the games because we used to live at Albert Park, just outside the ground. And I mean outside the ground. Albert Park and the Highbury Hill. We lived outside the ground. She used to take me as a kid. And then we moved to Crouch Hill. And then it was Arsenal. My brother, in the end, she was a negative so much that I said, right, I'm Arsenal. And the first game I can't remember was in 1980 when we lost the FA Cup final. Trevor Brookings scored his only header.
Oh,
and then I used to get taken by neighbours to matches, the reserve matches, the football combination matches. And the first game I was allowed to go on my own was when I was 12 in 1984, 17th of December 1984. We played Watford. It was 1-1, and Les Taylor got lead class for Watford, and Ian Allison scored a penalty. Well, he actually had his penalty saved by Tony Colton, who's got the rebound. But yes, Lofsky. I remember club call as well.
Yeah, that coming after. I'll tell you another thing about it. I used to run the phone bill. You could get commentary on that. On it. And my phone bill was my old dear, she got the phone bill, and it was about, I think it was about, at the time, it was a lot of money, about a couple of £100 because I was fucking listening to the game on the commentary. Well, it was a Tuesday night game, and I was listening to the whole second half on the commentary.
Arsenal Football Club were actually calling their fans even then, Chig.
Sure.
Chig, what's your first memory?
My first memory of Arsenal, so much like you, I had no choice but being an Arsenal fan. So my dad is a United fan. I don't know. But my mum was always an Arsenal fan. She lived very close to Ashburton Grove, and she always used to watch the games from her flat. And so I had no choice growing up. And my first memory of Arsenal, I'm laughing because of our offline conversation, but it was the famous 89 game. That's my very first.
Right. Chig, you've reminded me, Chig, because those flats were behind the clock end, weren't they?
Yeah.
And you could see the game from you could see the game.
Yeah.
Was it? Tell me, Chig, was it a clear view?
I don't remember because I was 3 years old, but from my was saying, she always used to see most of a half was basically what she said.
Well, that's where we live. You're talking about the flats on Albert Park. That's exactly where we were as well when I was there. Yeah, because apparently the club,
you could see the flats above it, the clock end. The old clock end. Do you remember? Yeah.
Hey, and do you remember the time as well? Before I had the season ticket, there used to be this lovely Irish guy, who basically sometimes, right? Have you ever done it in football where they let you in for free, but you had to miss about 10 minutes of the game? But if you were smaller, basically, I was skinny. Believe it or not, people know me. Said, "How can Ken be ever skinny?" I was actually very skinny. So me and my brother, sometimes when we didn't pay to get in, we didn't want to pay to get in. We used to crawl under the gates, and the guys used to let us in. But if it was a massive crowd, he said, "Look, there's a death there. It's going to be a crush. You can't get in, so you're going to have to pay." So that's it. But that was one of the early memories as well.
Mm. Yeah, I know. In the old days, another thing you could do is if you wanted to watch some part of the game with about half an hour to go, when people were coming out, you could just walk up in the terraces and go in and watch it. But that's when we only had about 25,000.
Our men's got a question. Left a donation for you.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. So, Claude and Kenny, I think you two are the only fans from AFTV who can hold their love for Arsenal back and give an objective opinion. Well, no, I don't know. There are others. I mean, we're all passionate about the game.
Oh, yeah. He just wants to say he's from Zurich. He's from Zurich, from a very beautiful country.
Zurich. Yeah, I've never been to Zurich. I've been to Switzerland, but I've never been to Zurich.
Switzerland's the capital of Italy, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Oh, this is another one.
Thanks, Armin.
Fulton Decora from Watford, boys.
I like him a lot as a player. I've been talking about him for years. Admittedly, not having a great season this season, but then neither are any of them. It's interesting actually seeing the bounce back from Pearson going into Watford. He's really lifted Watford and he's doing a really good job. Got them nice and
doing the basics. He's just doing the basics, though.
Yeah.
You remember Troy Deeney's interview after Bournemouth? What he said is that it's identical what we said about what Arteta's doing, and I think what it is that what's Pearson's done with Troy Deeney is he's giving Troy Deeney sweets, but he's not only giving sweets, he's giving grapes and fruit as well, because I think what's happening is that if it's like Troy Deeney's the main man at Watford, what he says goes. So, for instance, if he's happy with the manager, then he's the sort of person who can G up the players. And I think that's Troy Deeney sort of does himself discredit when he does where I think they missed him a lot when he was injured. I'm not sure they'll be in that position where they were with missing because he's actually a leader of men.
That's true.
He says, "Would you take Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester?" Yes, I would.
Dream signing.
I'll
bid off Torreira.
Yeah, me too. And I think Torreira's playing well in the last few games, but I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
I don't think we're getting him, but I think we'd have to pay a lot of money.
I'll tell you one thing, right? If Wilfred Ndidi, right, if Man United don't go for him next season, they are dumb. Agreed. He is exactly what they need, or exactly what we need.
The rumour Ndidi actually quite likes Arsenal, but surely we wouldn't be able to get someone like that. Surely,
but if he goes to Man United, I swear to God, now that is all they will need after that is a 20 season goal striker, and the rest of the Premiership is going to better watch out.
Right, this is a question for you both. Do you think we need to sign proper goal-scoring wingers rather than defensive players? As our problem right now seems to be scoring goals. We seem to be doing well defensively. I wouldn't say we're doing great defensively, but it's improving a bit. But what do you think on that question, boys?
I'm going to combine that with Brody's question, which is thoughts on John McGuigan from Aston Villa.
Oh, sorry, I can see that. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
I like him. He's an example of a good, solid, hard-working winger. I think for me, I'm not. Yes, you always want more goals from all parts of the field, but ultimately, I just want balance in the team. That's why I'm not necessarily against Lamar. I'm just against what it would take to get Lamar here. For me, as long as you're prepared to come into the team and work hard, I'm prepared to overlook any poor form or whatever. Just come in, work hard, add balance to the team. That's all I care about. And then, yes, hopefully we can get more goals elsewhere.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that, Chris, but you know what? With Aubameyang at the moment, right, which is worrying for us, 90% of our goals come from one player at the moment. So that's the worrying thing to me.
You see, that's the thing, but that's the trouble is that the reason why that happens is because in a struggling side, only one or two players tend to keep their form and keep their standards when others lose them. Arsenal's biggest problem in the last 3 or 4 years is if you take away Alexis Sanchez's goals, what we've needed to replace Alexis Sanchez is 2 or 3 players who score 10 or 15 goals a season. If we had players who could score 10 or 15 goals a season, 3 or 4 players, not just the main people, we'd be challenging for the top 4 or challenging for the title. It's goals that's killing us.
Look at the great Invincibles. They all spread around the team, weren't they?
All goals. Yeah. Look at. I know we hate this. It's an Arsenal show, but you can't look at that great season Spurs had in 2017, where Song, Kane, Ali, Ericsson all got between 10 and 15 goals a season. You can't knock it. You know what I mean?
Thoughts on Ryan Fraser? That's an interesting one from Brodie Smith. In the summer window, I don't know, Kelly. What do you think, boys? I mean, I'm not that keen.
I think Wilfred Zaha. I've always never had him in my mind as an Arsenal player. I know he plays well, but Isn't he struggling to get in the Bournemouth side? Has he been injured?
Mind you, Zaha was in Maitland-Niles' pocket down the other weekend, weren't he? So
only because of the protection. Only because of the protection he got from Pepe.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I quite like the idea of I keep saying it. People are going to go mad, but I quite like the idea of selling Uber or Lacazette, getting a Zaha, and then maybe finding a target man so that Pepe and Zaha can do what they do for Ivory Coast. But getting
you know what? Nick Achilleos has just beaten you to the thing. He's actually got a question for you, Claude, which is exactly what Chig has been saying.
If you had to sell either Uber or Laka to get funds to sign a defender, who would you sell and why? But Chris actually said that he would sell both, didn't you, Chris?
Yep, I'd sell both.
Who's the oldest player? Who's the oldest?
Uber, isn't it? Aubameyang's the oldest, isn't he?
It's all right. Hypothetically, Nick, because I know Nick and everyone in the show. If someone like Barca Real Madrid gave us £70 million for Aubameyang at the end of the season, what would you do?
Yeah,
it's a good question.
For a 31-year-old.
So I was a big proponent of this. Like I said, I like Aubameyang, but if someone offered 70 million and they promised you could use that funds elsewhere in the team, I'd snap their hand up before they finished the sentence, and that was before the season started. I've always said the same thing.
But Chris, what I'm trying to say, wasn't this? What did this Rail say? We won't let people run their contracts down.
Exactly, it's nonsense. It's
what nonsense? I know what's going to happen in the summer. I think he's going to be offered another deal. I don't know if they're going to give him.
To be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. But to be honest, if a rather situation where if we can get big money for him, sell. Because
1 year left, no chance.
Yeah,
won't get big money. 1 year left on a contract of a 31-year-old.
Well, that's the thing. That's probably why the guy's stalling. That's probably why the guy's stalling. That's probably why the guy's stalling because he probably wants to leave it a free and name his price.
Yeah, and I think people have this thought that 70 million is still going to come in the summer. No chance. I think it's going to be more like 40.
Yeah, no chance.
Would you take 40 for him? Would you take 40 for a 32-year-old?
I still would. I'll be honest. I would. You're talking with the wrong guy because I would have taken it last year. So I would take it this year. 40 million. 40 million for a 31-year-old that maybe has 18 months left doing what he's doing in the Premier League. Take it. You take that. 100%.
Read that question out, Kenny.
Ian B says, Claude sounds just like my dad. No joke and the moaning. Ian, behave yourself.
The amount of comments that Ian B has come out with, I'm glad he got one through.
I gave you the comment there. Look, they're going on about this Blood Brothers. I wish they'd leave me alone. Right. Let me talk about that. Let me finish it off. Well done, DTFC. You were brilliant. You prepared your team better. Unfortunately, on the day, we froze and we weren't good enough. But you deserve to win the trophy. Congratulations. We will be back next year to take the trophy back off you. Right, let's leave it at that. Right, thoughts on Lundstrom from Sheffield United, but Lundstrom, yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? Yeah. He is a good player.
And you know, going back to the game, I think he's one of the people that we're going to need to take care of. So, Maitland-Niles, Pepe, over to you. I think that one's going to have to be the one they're really going to have to watch and mind because a lot of their attacks do come from that left-hand side and they do come from with balls. So I do think that's an area we're going to have to really take care of. But a good player. I do like him as a player.
It's the official Barack Obama YouTube channel. Oh. Right.
I thought he was a West Ham fan.
Claude, get Chig's best friend, Lee Gunner. Yeah, well, Lee is busy tonight, so I couldn't get him on. Hopefully, I will get him on. Always interested. Lee's very good, actually. He's doing a really nice thing in Spain. I'm wishing him all about. I know you, Chig, good mates with him as well. He's very good, isn't he, Lee?
Yeah, he's a good lad. I know he triggers a lot of people, and obviously
yeah, we all trigger.
But don't you think that the people who trigger a lot of people are the ones who refuse to be intimidated and bullied?
I think people take it too serious.
I think it's tongue in cheek. But I think what it is, right, is that he refuses.
No, I won't be reading that, sorry.
Yeah. He refuses, right, to be intimidated from his view. He doesn't compromise his view. He never goes back on it. He doesn't care about, how it looked with other people. He says, right, this is me, either you like me or not, but I'll explain myself. At least he explains why he says these things. Some people just say something and there's no explanation. Yeah. It's like a lumpet. And I think that's why you need to have a bit of a level playing field. You know what I mean?
I want to apologise to Lee. I put up a comment by mistake, which was a nasty comment. I didn't mean to do it. I quickly took it away. But if you're going to, please don't put comments like that up again. I'm sorry, Lee, if it came flashing up. I didn't mean to do it, but it was a horrible comment, and I don't want to hear that sort of shit. And I apologise. I didn't mean to put. I don't know how I tagged that on. I do apologise if you're watching, Lee. What's it? I don't think predictions, boy. Let's wrap this up. Predictions for the game on.
Nick's got an interesting one.
Oh, 1 minute. That's what I said it. Oh, sorry. No, did you say Nick?
Well, Nick Kelly says he reckons it's going to be 2-1 to Arsenal.
Yeah, no. Why did I put that on, mate?
You did. He came off. Ian B, who loves you a lot. Ian B loves you, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, it was. How old are you, Kenny? Says Alexander. I have to read it out because he's put down.
Well, it's all in the Twitter page, mate. My Twitter page is Kenny Ken 1972, mate.
Yeah. Are you really, Kenny? That? Yeah. I didn't think you.
1972. I was born in 1972.
You don't look any older than 40, mate. I tell you, mate. You don't.
No, I was born in 1972. I won't tell you which day.
Incredible. You look really well. You look really well for your age, mate, Kenny.
Thanks, mate.
That's all that fitness that you do, mate. You know what I mean?
He lives in the gym. Yes.
So what's the score? What's the predictions, boys?
1-1. 1-1. I'm going for a 1-1. The reason why I'm going for a 1-1 is because the reason why I do go for the 1-1 is I generally believe that Arsenal lack a cutting edge as well as Sheffield United. And Sheffield United are going to be extremely difficult to beat. And they're going to be going for 90 minutes. And one of the things they're going to be doing is they're going to put in a lot of crosses. Where we're going to have it's going to be probably our hardest game that we played all under Arteta.
So what are you saying, Kenny?
1-1.
Oh, Kenny's going 1-1. Chig, another bloody draw. Chig, what about you, mate?
I'm going to go with 2-1 Sheffield United.
2-1 Sheffield United?
Yeah.
You're joking. Come on, Chig. Are you winding me up?
I don't normally like to predict losses. I just feel like the Aubameyang loss, I feel like we've got too many injuries.
The midfield. They're murderous in midfield.
I'm finding it hard to look past it. I'll be honest. I hate predicting losses, but I think they'll beat us. I really do.
I'm gonna be optimistic here, and I'm gonna go for another home win for Mikel. I'm gonna say 2-1 to the Arsenal. I'm gonna say 2-1 to the Arsenal, and my first goal. I'm gonna go for Lacazette. I think he's gonna score on Saturday.
Oh, there's no doubt it will score, but it doesn't mean we'll win.
Right. So anyway, that's wraps it up. Thank you, boys, for coming on. By the way,
no worries.
I really appreciate it. I know it was at the last minute. Thank you so much. You've been a great help tonight. Thank you so much, and I hope I'm not. I'm slightly trying to be a host. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying my best.
Well, at least you're doing it finally, man. You got a gold mine there, and it's just it was dormant.
I will improve. You know what they say? You improve as you go along. Not everyone. Yeah. Remember Gary Lineker? He was rubbish when he started, didn't he?
There you go.
I remember Gary Lineker and his old Leicester City photos when he had curly hair, curly hair.
I remember when he first started doing the present and all that, I think he was rubbish, wasn't he?
Well,
but he's grown into it. He's grown into it.
He's an excellent presenter now. He's actually tries to be. He's actually naturally funny now.
Well, he tries to be. Anyway, thank you for joining. Be back on Monday. We'll be back on Monday with another broadcast. I hope to get Lee Gunner in if he can make it this time, and more different guests as well. And thanks, boys.
I wonder what your show's going to be about on Monday. Oh yeah, we're playing Chelsea.
We'll have a Chelsea preview, and I'm going to try and get a Chelsea guest on if I can.
Okay.
I'll
be watching that with Vito. I might blow out Silent Witness to watch that.
I've seen them all. In fact, I'm a big fan of Silent Witness. I love the girl. What's her name?
What's it? Fox. She's one of the Fox girls.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's
Amelia Fox.
Gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I wish I was 20 years younger, mate. Right. Anyway, 20 years younger and about 10 stone lighter, and I'll have a chance to. Right. Right. Take care, everyone.
All right.
Bye for now.
See ya.
Right.